a Renaissance man coming down here. He lives in New Westminster now. He didn't always, but he heard what a great place it is, so he said, by God, we've got to move there, and he did. He has two names. His real name is Darrel Shee, but he goes by Sean Seamus Shee. So I like Sean Seamus Shee. It's almost a tongue twister, but it feels good. He's been writing in one form or another for more than 50 years. He grew up in Montreal, writing for radio and television, and wrote humor and satire columns and articles for newspapers, and was a contributing editor in the early days of National Lampoon magazine. And he went legit, or sold himself out, all depends on your perspective, and entered the advertising industry as a copywriter. Spent 37 years in advertising, as a copywriter, creative director, and then a partner in a large ad agency in Vancouver where he won numerous national and international awards for his work. Darrel continues to write nonsense and children's poetry in the style of Ogden Nash. Only about 1/100th as well, he says, but he's actually almost as good. He writes mainly for his own amusement, and he would like it to be for others' amusement, but it usually turns out it's for his own. That's actually not true. I think you're really going to enjoy what Darrel has to say, so please come on up, Darrel. Trying to remember how much taller you are than me. I think I'll bring this up 6 inches. That's probably right.
Okay. Over the past 3 weeks, I've come out here and just heard amazing poetry by all these guest presenters. You won't be hearing it tonight, of course, but I'll do my best. And mine is not the classic poetry or romantic sonnets or that. As mentioned by Candice, I write kind of nonsense poetry, kind of quirky stuff. Most of it has a twisted look at maybe animals or childhood games and fears or anything else that might come to my head. It's what I like to do is just playing with words and rhythms and rhymes in a way that hopefully brings a smile to children and grown-ups alike. So here goes. This first piece was, I suppose, inspired by a real windy day down on the beach, and it was blowing like crazy, and people were trying to fly kites, and the kites were diving and taking dives into the ground. Little girls were standing up into the wind and being blown away almost. So I ended up writing this poem. It's called Light as a Feather. I once met a girl who was light as a feather. I never knew whether she could weather our weather. When the wind would blow strong, she was put on a tether. The people all saw it a wonderful sight. The children all screamed with joy and delight. And everyone said, she made a marvelous kite. She swooped and she dipped and she flew all around. But alas and alack, she fell to the ground. Some of us cried, others did moan, and most people sighed when they read her tombstone. Here lies a girl light as a feather. She just could not manage to weather the weather. May she now rest in peace, where she crashed in the heather.